What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode in my road to 100 million gold. Last week we didn't do so hot on the sales. I've been putting in a little more effort this week, so hopefully our sales should be higher. And we'll see if we got any good profits. In addition to that, before we go into the sales, I'm going to show you the mailbox on Draenor specifically this week, because that's something we wanted to increase. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about 9.2 and sort of what I'm thinking right now is going to be my approach to maximize the value of 9.2, because as I've said in some earlier episodes, I really want to push to generate as much profit as possible after 9.2 and directly after 9.2, and just pushing the envelope really hard and hopefully pushing towards 100 million within the first month or so of 9.2. Yeah, let's talk about how that can work. We'll dive in. Right, let's see what we have on Draenor. Time to loot the big mailbox, and then we'll talk a little bit about 9.2. We got some information and sort of theory crafting what I'll be doing for as we approach 9.2, because we have some information already on the PTR, so we'll have to think about what we can do on my main realm to really get going. So 650, it's gonna be at least 1.5 mil, I know that for sure. Question is how close it will be. 2 mil! Nice! That's better than I thought. So I checked the sales in the middle of the week and they were not looking like it would be on the 2 million range, so that's very nice. That's very nice. Yeah, but what we're gonna talk a little bit about, I'm gonna pull up here Samadan's latest WoW economy wrap up. So important things: 9.2 new materials. Well, we don't need to open the Protoflesh page. New crafters marks. New vestige. Overall, what we're seeing here, this is the leatherworking vestige that's linked here. 50 protogenic pelts, a small amount of heavy callus hides, and progenitor essentia. So for the most part, we're going to need new materials from the new zone for everything here. Like literally everything they're showing requires pretty much only materials from the new zone. We're finally getting the rest of the optional regions that were teased at launch or in the beta but never actually made it to live. That's about time. Kind of tells you how much they care about professions, but that's beside the point. So interesting, crafter's mark of the first ones. This is item level 262. So just like in 9.1, you want to get this one as fast as possible. Because every raider, if they can get this before Heroic Week, it's a huge upgrade in one slot, or it's a significant upgrade. Because raid gear is 252 for Mythics, that's 10 item levels. Imagine slapping this on a ring with a guaranteed socket and perfect secondaries. This is going to be very, very good. Crafter's Mark 4 is going to be whatever in comparison, but this one is going to be incredible early on. Obviously, the Vestige of Eternal adds 3 ranks, so rank 7 is going to be the maximum. Obviously, I have all my recipes ready. It's all going to depend a little bit on what exactly the how the tier set slots work and what slots people are going to be buying. I'm guaranteeing it's not going to be the same slots that are popular now. We might see a shift back into more of the heavy stat ones. So what does this mean? It means you need to get... I'm going to need a decent stockpile of materials for the base items, because we are going to need to craft a rank 4 base with the Vestige of the Eternal. So a good chunk of base materials, obviously for Crafter's Mark gear as well. That's what we want to buy out. We probably want to start investing in materials in a couple of weeks' time is, I'm guessing, where it'll really start to pay off. Definitely want to wait for the current craze in rank 6 legendaries to slow down a little bit once we see the price of Coithite crystals falling again, because the Coithite crystal price, at least on my realm, has been sustaining at a high level. So that's what I think. I think it's best to wait for prices to go down a little bit and sale rate to decrease, which should be a couple more weeks, because people still need to run some more Torghast to get all their stuff. And then you want to build up a good stockpile. Definitely want to pre-craft a bunch of ingots and enchanted materials and all that stuff, so that I can just execute on the Vestige of the Eternal and the Crafter's Mark of the First One's gear as soon as possible. And then obviously around launch, play as much as possible to farm up whatever reputation. I don't know if this has been added to a reputation yet. Recipe. No, we don't know where you get it from yet. Doesn't seem like we know where we're getting these. I'm guessing that there will be from the reputation in Sereth Mortis, almost guaranteed. Vestige of the Eternal as well, I would guess. And it's just a question of like, when do we get this specifically? We're going to get it right away. We're going to get it time gated. And what item level, it doesn't matter. It's probably going to be higher than gear from the raid, I would assume. I would also assume that they learned the lesson that like rank 5 gear didn't fill a useful role at all in patch 9.1, so just pointless. Just add one more rank to the max rank, and that's what people care about. So yeah, we definitely want to get a good material stockpile. Obviously, we'll have to pay attention. I doubt that these are the final crafting costs, because they did change around the stuff for 9.1 quite a bit during beta, so we'll just have to pay attention and see how the final costs shake out, or look like they're shaken out. Either way, we have to stock up on materials, have to stock up on base materials, the materials from this expansion, and we have to have a good chunk of gold, a nice war chest of gold, ready to invest into the new materials, into the progenitor essentia, and everything we need to actually craft. So yeah, that's what we need to do, and hopefully we can make a huge chunk of gold with that. Now with the plan for 9.2 sort of highlighted, let's dive in and take a look at my overall numbers for the week. Alright, so here it is, the overall numbers, and they're a little a little not so good. I don't know. My sales are good, but then unlike usual, I did a huge restock session yesterday, pretty much. Usually don't do restock sessions that late in the week, but it did mean that obviously I spent a lot more gold on Draenor just before recording this. We generated about 400k since then, I think, in sales. If I remember correctly, I had about 1.6 million waiting in the mailbox yesterday. So that's a little bit sad. I ended up actually losing out a little bit of gold. On the plus side, I did get in 2 repost sessions on most of my other realms, and that paid off. So last week we had one good realm and then 280k. This week we had 270k, and we didn't have like one realm with a huge sale to carry us. We got sales on almost every realm, just a couple that didn't have it. So that's very nice. That's very nice indeed. I'm not sure if there's anything particular that stood out to me. On Stormscale, we sold a Island Expedition transmog, a single one, for 63k. So even with Island Expeditions being soloable, the stuff from Expeditions is still selling for quite a lot of gold. Nicely enough, here we sold a Wrath of the Lich King crafted transmog. Materials obviously on Ravencrest, and I think this was pretty much mostly battle pets of various sorts. This was like 8 or so battle pets, with one quite expensive one, and the rest of them in the 5 to 10,000 gold range. So yeah, we're building up. Still, the goal will be to try to push hard for 100 million in 9.2 and just go absolutely as hard as humanly possible with stuff like cancel scanning and posting and whatnot when the gold rush really starts hitting then. So we'll see what we can do in the meantime. There should be some gold in the legendary market. My sales are up since last week. I did put in a little bit more effort on the auction house, and that's paid off on the sales column. And then I'm assuming that once we're one or two more days down the line from my restock session yesterday, this number would have been green as well. So yeah, it doesn't matter if you have one down week as long as it's based on you investing. I just need to generate the sales while the prices are still high and Korthite is still expensive and all that jazz. So yeah, time to go repost some more stuff, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you leave a like so you don't miss out on the next update, and particularly once we approach 9.2, it's going to be I'm sure this will be very useful to you to see what I'm doing real time when I'm trying to go pretty hard through an expansion launch, as hard as I've ever done. I really want to generate a lot of this gold around launch. So we'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye.